Hello kind people of YouTube, and welcome back to another video where we're going to take a quick look at the crypto markets today before looking at some recent news articles and a general outlook in the near future of the markets. Now, before we start, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to get these daily videos, and hit that little bell next to the subscribe button to make sure you get a notification when a new video goes live. But now let's just start, and first let me refresh CoinMarketCap here so we have the most up-to-date information. We have seen another beautiful day today for XRP. If we see here in the 7-day price graph, we now see two jumps by over 10%. The one from 2 days ago and now another one from today. We're actually up 14.72% over 24 hours. XRP with that is the top coin that has by far gained the most. We're scrolling down here, and within the top 50 there is no other coin that has gained as much ground in the last 24 hours as XRP. If we take a look at the 1-day chart here, we see that a couple hours ago XRP jumped up from 32.6 cents to 35 cents, and since then has progressively gone up a bit more, all the way to a peak of 37.3 cents, and it has retracted a bit since then. But we have also seen that when it first reached 36.3, it went down a bit for a couple hours and then shot up again just a while ago, and now it is recovering from that a bit. If this continues, we might see it shoot up again at some point in the near future. Now, we don't have a specific reason this is happening, pretty much the same speculation that we already had 2 days ago. There doesn't seem to be a particular reason for this, except that more and more people are recognizing how severely undervalued the XRP token was, with near daily good news coming from Ripple, more collaborations with large companies, large banks, and the news that within the next month or so, XRP, Ripple's proprietary technology that uses the XRP token for international monetary transfers, will go live. But aside from that, we don't have a specific catalyst for this. So this is what's happening without a specific catalyst. Now imagine what will happen when we get news that XRP went live, which would mean a massive increase in 24-hour volume for the token. At this rate, we are getting closer and closer to the market cap of Ethereum, and we might be reaching the point soon where XRP might even overtake Ethereum. If we're looking at the 7-day graph, we can see here that Ethereum has more or less moved around the same price. There was a bit of a dip here and it has returned since. And in the last couple of months, Ethereum has not performed very well. And XRP as a whole has not performed well either, but XRP has managed to recover a lot of its losses. XRP is now on the same level as it was in the beginning of August before the markets crashed down a bit. Ethereum hasn't quite managed to recover like that, and if we're looking at, where is it? Tools, I think it's the global charts. We can actually look at the comparison of the market cap of individual coins, and here, let's look at the 3 months. These are the market caps of Ripple in light blue and Ethereum in deep blue, purple. It probably looks different depending on your screen. And we see them get progressively closer together, and right now we see Ripple at 6.91% market cap and Ethereum at 10.67%. If we can go in the 1 day as well. Actually now, Ripple 7.2%, Ethereum 10.6%. This is the closest they have been together since Ripple briefly overtook Ethereum earlier this year. Progressively it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. If Ripple continues going up about 10% per day, it will only take a couple days for it to overtake Ethereum. I think it's a distinct possibility, especially once XRP goes live, that unless Ethereum is getting really good news or a new bull market starts in the next couple of weeks, that XRP might become the number 2 token by October. Which of course would be huge news for XRP, especially in the face of a lot of haters that don't want to see it succeed. But yeah, we see just how much closer it has gotten here. Ethereum has recovered a bit in the last couple of days as well, but not nearly as dramatically as XRP has. So that is quite beautiful. Now to finish a look at the market, let's take a quick look. Market cap 203 billion. We have seen it hover around 200 billion for a couple days, going up and down a bit. But this is a bit higher than it has been recently, so we see that recover a bit. I believe yesterday it was at 199 billion, so it is up about 2% since yesterday. And Bitcoin dominance continues to slowly but surely fall. We saw it briefly reach 57% a couple days ago, then it has fallen down to 56%. I believe yesterday it was at 55.5%. Earlier today it was at 55%. Now it's at 54.7%. Progressively going down as altcoins, of course XRP most of all, outperform Bitcoin, which is only up 1.61% today. But this is, in general, the markets are looking very nice today. Pretty much everyone in the green. But XRP, of course, the clear winner of the day. And right now, it's not looking like this positive movement for XRP has any end in sight. Now, we could see a massive correction in the coming days. That is, of course, a possibility. Especially since we see no proper reasoning for, or rather no direct catalyst. But like I said earlier, this could just be people recognizing that XRP has been so undervalued. But now let's actually look at the articles, and let's start by an analysis of Ripple. Ripple surges by 36% in 48 hours as crypto market adds $2 billion. So this is just a market analysis, a technical analysis that goes into more detail and that is more professional than anything I could provide. Let's read it together. All the links, of course, in the description. Over the past 24 hours, major cryptocurrencies in the global market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and EOS, increased by 2 to 5%, as Ripple led the market with a solid 10% gain. Since September 18th, within 48 hours, the price of XRP, the native cryptocurrency of the Ripple blockchain network, rose by more than 36.5%. Of course, by now it's actually slightly higher than that still. This article is a couple hours old. Technical analysts in the cryptocurrency community have expressed their optimism towards the trend reversal demonstrated by XRP in the last 24 hours. Unlike previous rallies of XRP, the abrupt increase in the price of Ripple was not triggered by a specific series of events. We have to be careful here. Ripple is actually the company and their technology, and XRP is the token. So the price of Ripple did not increase, the price of XRP did increase. Rather, similar to the rapid recovery of Ether, the native cryptocurrency of Ethereum, it is likely that the steep decline in the price of XRP through July and August led the market to demonstrate oversold conditions. Since late June, XRP experienced an intensified movement on the downside in comparison to other major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The price of XRP was around 54 cents on June 21st, and within 2 months, XRP fell to 29 cents by 46%. It actually bottomed out at 26%, if I'm not completely mistaken. Meanwhile, during the same period, the price of Bitcoin only fell by 9%, from $6,700 to $6,100. This is something we always talk about. Altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin in a bull market, gaining higher percentage points than Bitcoin, but they seem to also fall more when Bitcoin is falling, simply because people see Bitcoin as something more secure. In a bear market, people pull out of altcoins and push their money into stablecoins and into Bitcoin, and in a bull market, people are more likely to invest in altcoins. In the past 7 days, social media activity of the keywords XRP and Ripple increased significantly, possibly due to Ripple's announcement of a new cryptocurrency product by October. I assume they're talking about XRapid. Increasing social media activity around Ripple likely led to a rise in hype of XRP. Marcus Treacher, the global head of strategic accounts at Ripple, recently revealed that RippleNet has experienced rapid expansion throughout 40 countries, deploying a faster and transparent payment system internationally. And he said, RippleNet's newest corridors have a combined potential market that totals over $2 billion in inflows over the last year. Instagram and Rational FX opened up new corridors from the United Kingdom to Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. Remitter and Flutterwave established a RippleNet corridor to Nigeria from Canada, the first connection on RippleNet in Africa. BTech and Instagram created corridors from Brazil to Spain, Italy, Germany, France, and Portugal. A combination of RippleNet's rapid growth, Ripple's scheduled announcement of a product release in October, and a short-term trend reversal demonstrated by the cryptocurrency exchange market led XRP to increase by such a large margin in a short period of time. Now, I feel like they should probably point out here that the new product that is about to be launched is the major product that is going to use the XRP token. This is pretty much the real use case for XRP going active next month. The token can be used on the currently active xCurrent, which I believe 200 banks are using or going to use soon. But XRP is only necessary for XRapid, and XRapid is going live next month. On September 19th, CCN reported that the volume of Bitcoin will have to remain above the 4 billion mark in order for the dominant cryptocurrency to sustain momentum throughout the upcoming days. Over the past 24 hours, the volume of Bitcoin has remained above 4.2 billion, while the volume of the global cryptocurrency exchange market increased from 10 billion to 12 billion. With the volume of the market and prices of both major and small market cap cryptocurrencies recovering, a gradual increase in the valuation of the market is expected throughout September. So this is a pretty good outlook. Let's look at another analysis that takes a look at more coins a bit more in depth. This is the one from Cointelegraph. I always like their analysis because they do them daily or near daily, and they look at all of the major tokens. They don't just look at Bitcoin and whoever is performing particularly well or badly on that day. So let's read this one together as well. Germany's Minister of Finance Olaf Scholz believes that cryptocurrencies are not yet ready to replace traditional fiat money, but he is not so confident about 20 to 30 years into the future. Remember, I talked about this in yesterday's video. This is a bullish sign which confirms that the world is gradually coming to terms with the fact that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Yet China continues to remind investors about the risks associated with ICOs and crypto trading. A committee of lawmakers in the UK has urged the regulators to act by introducing measures for consumer protection. In the US, a study by the New York Attorney General's office has found that many cryptocurrency exchanges lack sufficient customer protections and have serious conflicts of interest. The report observed that only a few crypto trading platforms have market surveillance capabilities to deter trading manipulation. A robust system is needed to attract large players who are accustomed to the traditional exchanges that have many protective measures built in against market manipulation and fraud. Price volatility, however, might remain for even longer time as the market matures. Over the past several months, we have shown how the traders can keep their risk low when trading cryptocurrencies. Let's see if we can spot any buy setups today. And here they are looking at all the major cryptocurrencies one by one. Bitcoin has held $6,200 for the past 2 days but is struggling to move up. Both moving averages are sloping down and the RSI is also in the negative territory. This shows that the sellers are in command. A break of the 5,900 to 6,075 support zone will complete two negative formations, a head and shoulders pattern and a descending triangle pattern. Though head and shoulders is primarily a reversal pattern, it can also work in a continuation pattern, as is the case currently. The lower levels that can offer some support are $5,450 and $5,000. However, after a break from such a major support, a number of stops will be hit, resulting in a quick drop. Therefore, we suggest traders avoid catching the falling knife if $5,900 breaks down. If the bulls defend the support zone and push price above the moving averages, the Bitcoin US dollar pair can rally to $6,900 and $7,400. We suggest an aggressive buy on 50% of the desired portion size on a close above $6,600. The remaining positions can be added after the digital currency closes above the downtrend line of the descending triangle. Ethereum US dollar. The trend in Ethereum is still a downward one, but we find some buying interest around the $183 to $192 area. However, on the upside, the 20-day moving average is proving to be a major resistance, as the bulls have failed to scale this level for the past few days. If the bulls break out of the 20-day moving average and move to the 50-day one is likely, with minor resistance at the downtrend line of the descending channel. We shall turn bullish if the price sustains above the channel for 3 days in a row, so right now not a bullish outlook on Ethereum. If the Ethereum US dollar pair turns down over the current levels, it can slide to $192 and further to $183. The pair is at a critical level and we should get a clearer picture within the next couple of days. Now we have Ripple here, or rather XRP. XRP bounced sharply from 27 cents on September 18th and broke out of the 20-day monthly average. Currently it is facing resistance at the 50-day. If the bulls break out of the 50-day, the next resistance is at 37.39 cents. The downward trend line is also located just above that level. If the XRP US dollar pair sustains above the downward trend line, we can expect the trend to change from down to up. Now 37.39, we have gone just about there, but so far the markets have not managed to break out of it. If buying dries up at higher levels, the virtual currency might spend some time inside the range of 27 to 37.39. Though the bounce from the lows is a positive development, we shall wait for additional evidence before suggesting any trades on it. Bitcoin Cash. When the sentiment is negative, any uncertainty drives away the investors, and that is what seems to be happening with Bitcoin Cash. With a looming split, the buyers are not taking any fresh positions, which has kept the cryptocurrency near its year-to-date lows. The trend is down as both moving averages are sloping downward and the RSI is in the negative territory. A break of the September 11th low of $408 will resume the downward trend, and the Bitcoin Cash US dollar pair can slump in the next support zone of $280 to $300. The bulls have to overcome the resistance from the 20-day EMA, the 50-day SMA, and the downward trend line of the descending channel to signal a change in trend. So Bitcoin Cash not looking good right now. EOS. EOS has been holding above $449 since $4.49 that is, since August 17th. If this support breaks, the slide can extend to the next support at $3.78, therefore traders can keep their stops on the remaining long positions at $4.04. On the upside, the bulls have been facing a stiff resistance at the 20-day EMA and at $5.65. The EOS US dollar pair will gain strength if it breaks out of $5.65. Let's take a quick look where it is right now. It is at $5.30. Though the 50-day SMA is sloping down, the 20-day EMA is trying to flatten out, the RSI continues to be in a negative area. This shows that the virtual currency is in a range but with a negative bias. And they're still looking at, oh, I actually thought there were only 5 in this article for some reason. Stellar. Stellar has formed a range inside a range. This video is going to get way too long if I read all of these out, so I'm going to leave you guys with this link in the description. If you're interested in Stellar, in Litecoin, in ADA, in XRM, in IOTA, read there. But for most of them, the trajectory looks very similar from a quick look at the screenshots. Anyways, we have Vice Ratings once again making some statements that that support my opinions. Let's say it like that. In a bearish market, the ability to distinguish between good and bad opportunities in the medium and long term represents the difference between a good trader and a bad trader. For Vice cryptocurrency ratings, right now some excellent opportunities prove the high potential of blockchain technologies in the future. Generally, Vice ratings, recommendations and analysis are available to a close group of subscribers. However, a few days ago they took Twitter by surprise and published some short reviews in which they mentioned their optimism about the behavior of some tokens. For the renowned financial analysis firm, the 4 cryptocurrencies with the most significant opportunity for growth are IOTA, NEO, XRP and ADA. Now, I talk about XRP a lot on the channel, and you know my stance on XRP. I'm very bullish on XRP. And ADA, I just made a video about the other day with some potential price predictions. I'm also rather bullish there, so I support them here. Their tweet: if you believe crypto markets will return to its former glory, the benchmark for a 10 times gain is a 90% retracement. As of today, here are a few of top 25 coins that are at or above a 90% pullback. IOTA 90%, NEO 91%, XRP 93%, ADA 96%. These are absolute steals right now. Now what they're looking at here essentially is how much have these coins lost since their all-time high value, and coins that are in the top 25 coins but have lost over 90% value, they are considering a steal right now because they have a high chance of reaching their former highest price again. Now, in the case of ADA, which is currently trading at 4% of its all-time high price, if it reaches that price again, you will make back 25 times what you're putting in. So if you think that the markets will return to their former glory, I personally believe they will, though not every single coin might be able to retrace their former path. Then you can pretty much expect 25 time growth there, and with XRP you can expect roughly 15 time growth. So there we have that. It is quite interesting to address those who believe in a possible 10% gain. This could be very important for those who base their investments on fundamental analysis. Of course, being a tweet, they have not given much detail. However, subscribers will enjoy more information. And they have tweeted a few other things. Not going to read the whole article, just going to look at their tweets. I respect your guys' time, and I don't want to make videos over 30 minutes if I can get around it, so I sometimes rush through articles a bit. Here are some of the cryptocurrencies which look very promising: NANO, BAT, XLM, EOS, XRP. Once again, I am pretty much in support of the analysis here. I think BAT is absolutely revolutionary. It presents a completely new way of looking at supporting content creators on the internet. And you can see me use the Brave browser right now, of course, which has BAT integrated. And then, of course, EOS and XRP I talk a lot about on this channel. I also have prediction videos for both of them where I go through some price predictions. If you want to see them, check my channel. I have a playlist called Can X Coin Make You a Millionaire? And there's videos about XRP, EOS and ADA in there. And here they also talked about Bitcoin. Bitcoin will lose 50% of its market share to Ethereum within 5 years due to it offering more uses and being backed by superior blockchain technology. We completely agree. Unlike Bitcoin, which is a one-trick pony, the limit of Ethereum's application is Sky itself. Now, I see where they're coming from. I think they poked the hornet's nest here. Bitcoin, of course, has a ton of supporters and a lot of Bitcoin maximalists who only want to invest in Bitcoin and who think everything else will die out, who, of course, disagree with this significantly. I think if you're just talking about the technology, then you can't get around the fact that Ethereum has superior blockchain technology. I think simply because it's a more recent product that has been able to innovate on the footsteps of Bitcoin. Bitcoin came first. Bitcoin was innovative more than any other cryptocurrency because it was the first. It pretty much invented the entire space. But newer technologies have once again innovated on what Bitcoin presented. So I think if you're looking at it from that perspective, this is simply a fact. Ethereum has superior technology to Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have awful technology, and Bitcoin is being innovated on, but there is so much more development happening on top of Ethereum. I don't necessarily know if Bitcoin will lose its market share to Ethereum directly, but I do think Bitcoin will lose a significant part of its market share simply because altcoins will outperform it in the next bull market. I could see Bitcoin standing around 20 to 30% instead of its over 50% now if the next bull market hits. I guess that's the interesting part here. Once again, it's a longer article and the link is in the description. Now next up, New York University offers first crypto major in US, sees exponential increase in interest. New York University, a prestigious college founded in 1831, has started to offer the first crypto major course in the US. Adjunct Professor Andrew Hinkes told CBS New York in an interview that the institution is helping students understand both the legal and the business implications of crypto and blockchain technology. He said, "We hope to establish a groundwork so that the students can understand what's really happening under the hood, so that they can understand both the legal and the business implications and prepare them to go out and tackle this new market." I think this is a move in the right direction. I think we need the next generation to be educated on crypto, especially people that will go into finance or into tech or even into fintech. This is a step in the right direction. We will need that competence. We need a lot of people with competence in these markets. And universities offering majors in those areas is very, very good for that. I'm a bit surprised this is the first crypto major in the US. A while ago, we had an article claiming that I believe 40% of top American universities, or was it 20%, but a relatively large chunk had courses on crypto. This is the first time an entire major is organized around crypto. I think we will see a lot more of this in the near future. Next up, Poland's top bank to launch blockchain platform for document management within days. Now, this is a blockchain application, to my knowledge, not a token application. But this is still a good step in the general direction of blockchain gaining mainstream use, being adopted in more areas. Poland's largest bank will launch a blockchain solution for its customer documents via a partnership with UK-based Coinform in the coming days, the parties confirmed in a press release on Thursday. Part of a drive to enhance security of customer data, PKO Bank Polski will use Coinform's True Datum to provide blockchain-issued paperwork to its some 5 million account holders. Do they mean some of its 5 million account holders? Might be that. Blockchain offers huge potential to increase competitiveness of the Polish banking sector. The vice president of the bank's management board commented. I feel like there's a letter missing here. This is a relatively new technology for which further applications are constantly being found worldwide. The plans had originally surfaced in March, with the first issuance set to involve documents relating to the EU's PSD2 privacy directive, which came into force this year. The move stands out in the Polish banking industry, which is only beginning to implement blockchain at a time when cryptocurrency businesses in the country continue to complain about hostile treatment from institutions. It shows that the Polish financial industry is still open to innovation and sets international trends. Coinform CEO and co-founder Paweł Kozłowski, I hope that was correct, continued. In May, PKO began recruiting startups for its fintech initiative dubbed Let's Fintech with PKO Bank Polski. That is an awful name. With the blockchain partnership arising from that initiative. Executives search for fintech companies that are ready to pilot their solution and scale their business in partnership with the bank, the program's website explains. Now, this just means more and more adoption of blockchain by major banks in different countries. Now you might wonder, why do we care about this? This is part of developing a better environment for crypto companies for blockchain technology, the more banks work with blockchain and especially with crypto, but also just with blockchain in general, the more there will be an understanding between bankers and finance professionals and traditional banking and traditional investment of the crypto space, the more regulation will deal with crypto, the more governments will keep crypto in mind when they're making decisions. This is all good for the health of the general crypto market and long-term for our investments in crypto. And last but definitely not least, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when it was announced, messaging giant Line unveils ambitious plan for crypto token ecosystem. Now Line, if you're European or American, you might not know what that is. Line is a messaging app that is absolutely huge in East Asia, particularly in Japan. If you're in any contact with Japanese people under the age of 30, they have probably asked you at some point if you use Line. Everybody uses it. It's pretty much the equivalent of Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp in East Asia. So they are an absolutely huge tech company over there. And they are launching their entire crypto ecosystem with their own token soon. Line, the messaging app giant from Japan, has unveiled plans that will see it launch an ambitious token-powered ecosystem by the end of 2018. Aimed at capitalizing on the company's big user base, Line claims to have more than 164 million monthly active users across 4 key countries. The plan is centered around its previously announced Link token. Supported by a 10 million venture fund and a newly launched cryptocurrency exchange, Line has already said that its initiative will focus heavily on the development of decentralized apps, or dApps, that are tied to the Link blockchain. The plan as a whole represents one of the more notable enterprise-level efforts of 2018 to apply blockchain to mainstream use cases. Line is hoping that its Link token will serve as the fuel for a wide range of consumer-facing applications, from payments for restaurants and other services to the serving of online content. In a presentation given during CoinDesk Consensus Singapore event on September 20th, Line said that its goal is to make token and accompanying applications as easy to use as possible in a bid to migrate some of those millions of users to its nascent crypto economy. The idea is that rather than distributing Link tokens through some kind of sale, users will be rewarded through the use of dApps. Developers in turn can use the company's blockchain as a service to develop applications of their own. Perhaps more ambitious is Line's plan for supporting the scalability of its platform. Dubbed the linear network, the plan would use dApps existing on their so-called leaf chains that exist on their own but are capable of interacting with other offshoots. Linear will be underpinned by the Link token, which can be exchanged from chain to chain by way of smart contracts. Line expects to go live with its framework for the Link token as well as the linear network in December, according to the company's presentation. And as reported previously, Line is already moving to shore up its developers' resource ahead of that kickoff, signaling that it will seek to have a number of dApps in place prior to launch. That is very important. We see a lot of ecosystems launch without really providing much of a product for general audiences, for mainstream users. Now, with Line launching this, that means over 100 million people will suddenly have access to dApps, and they won't have to buy in. They will receive tokens for free for just using those dApps. So there could be massive mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies just through Line's efforts alone in East Asia, particularly in Japan in the near future. This is the perfect way of easing a group of people into cryptocurrencies. This will be simple to use because it will be integrated in Line's software products and they will be producing new dApps based on it. This will come with a branded name that people recognize, that is part of people's everyday lives. This doesn't require you to put any money in. This is the way it needs to be done. This is really good. Of course, we do have to wait until the product is actually out to see how well they launch it. But Line is really the Facebook, the Twitter of East Asia, or at least of Japan. I'm not quite sure how big it is in, say, China. China has its own social media platforms that I believe are significantly bigger than Line there. But Line is messaging. Line has video streaming. A lot of like music acts and stuff stream concerts through Line, and there's a lot of mainstream appeal to Line and their products, and this is a very good step in a very good direction for that. I would definitely say keep your eyes open for this, especially if they ever decide to move out of the East Asian realm and go global with their systems. This is very exciting. And this is where I'm going to end this video just before the 30-minute mark. As always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos. All the links to these articles are in the description, as well as my social media links to my Twitter and my Facebook, and ways to support the channel if you would like to. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.